The newest Brad Pitt film, F1 the Movie, has hit theaters, and I was completely caught off guard by how amazing it truly is. F1 is directed by Joseph Kosinski, who recently did Top Gun Maverick a few years ago, and that already had my expectations decently high for this movie, but I had no idea how good it would really be. I'm not a fan of the sport F1 at all, or really any kind of racing sports, so I wasn't sure if I would be able to buy in and really appreciate certain things about it, but after about 5 minutes, I was absolutely locked in, and I feel like most audiences will be too, no matter how much or how little they know about F1 going into it. I truly believe this would be very satisfying to an F1 superfan and equally as enjoyable for someone who knows nothing about it. Essentially, I think this is very possibly the best F1 movie that can be made, and it's accessible to all audiences, no matter their background or interest in F1. Joseph Kosinski takes everything that made Top Gun Maverick so unbelievably cool to watch and brings it right over to this movie. This has some of the most immersive action racing scenes I've ever seen in anything, and seeing it in IMAX only made it that much more exhilarating. You really feel like you're in the cockpit of these cars going hundreds of miles an hour, and every movement, turn, crash, you can feel them in your bones. Part of that is due to the amazing benefits of IMAX, but also the phenomenal sound design here. That ultimately makes the racing scenes easily the best part of the movie, and certainly the most entertaining. That's not to say that the other stuff isn't extremely fun to watch, because the entire movie has a very sleek and modern look to it that is just stunning to look at. But also, just seeing Brad Pitt on the big screen for the first time in a couple years is always great, and he delivers a rock-solid performance here. I think that Damson Idris, Kerry Condon, and certainly Javier Bardem give equally, if not more memorable performances here. They all have great chemistry together, and all of their characters have very distinguished arcs that intersect and make for just some really entertaining and well done character work. It all comes together to make for a third act with about as much payoff and satisfying closure as you can get in a movie. I mean, seriously, the last, 45 minutes of this movie are insane to watch on a huge screen. It's an underdog racing movie, so you know where it's likely going, but not only does it diverge from that formula just enough to feel fresh, but it also has some of the most edge-of-your-seat action and distinctly breathtaking imagery of the whole year so far. Another factor that makes it feel this way, and in my eyes one of the most important, is Hans Zimmer's score. Zimmer is probably objectively the best composer working today. He's certainly my favorite, and he turns in one of his career best performances here. His music elevates every single scene it's present in, which luckily is a lot of them. It makes the tense moments have even more tension, it makes the emotional moments have even more emotion, and it just makes everything about this movie that much better. I also loved the music choices in a lot of the montage scenes, which are also enthralling to watch. There are songs by dozens of artists, but they all have the same upbeat and fast-paced energy as the movie, and specifically the racing scenes they're playing over. Overall, I just think that this movie had some of the best music choices that it possibly could have, from the score to the soundtrack. If I had to grasp for any sort of negative here, and I mean definitely grasp, because there aren't really any that come to mind immediately, I would say that this movie is a little bit formulaic. I'm not even sure if it's a negative in my mind because it doesn't take away from the experience in the slightest, but there's no denying from an objective standpoint that this underdog sports story has most certainly been done before. Fortunately, it hasn't been done with this much star power, creative genius, and technical expertise before. So overall, F1 is one of the rare cases where I can look at a movie and say that it is truly the best version of itself that it can be. It nails the F1 racing action that most people came for, but manages to reel in the average moviegoer with no F1 interest, with its heart and emotion. It is a sleek and modern-looking movie that is easy on the eyes and beautiful on the ears, whether it's Zimmer's beautiful score or the deafening roar of the car engines. Honestly, this movie got my blood flowing, and I just gotta say, it was a struggle to maintain the speed limit when I was driving home. And for all those reasons, my final score for F1 the movie is a 9.2 out of 10. That is an extremely high score, and that means that it has cracked my top 3 of the year, sliding right into the number 2 spot. We are now days away from the halfway point of the year, so comment down below if you want me to do sort of a mid-year movie roundup and overview. Break down my top 5, bottom 5, current Oscar picks. Let me know if that would be something you'd like to see. Anyway, I know this is just my opinion, so I want to hear yours. What did you like about F1 the movie? What did you dislike about it? I genuinely want to hear it in the comments below. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and God bless.